Good afternoon, dear families and parents, students, and community for HES Academies. Welcome to another family engagement broadcast. We are happy today to present to you this topic, social emotional learning support for students and parents, by our clinical social worker at Star International Academy, Ms. Megan Habhab. Before she starts her presentation, I would like to make a couple announcements. One is that re-enrollment for existing students have started. You should receive an email. If you have an existing student in HES Academies, you should receive an email for a very short survey asking you if you would like to re-enroll for the 2022-2023 school year. Please answer that survey as soon as possible. This should be in your email box already. It was sent again last Friday, and it will be sent again today as a reminder for those who have not responded yet to this email. So please respond to this email. And finally, by next week, if you have not responded to this email, then you probably get a paper form for re-enrollment. The second announcement is regarding the next parent-teacher conferences. The next parent-teacher conferences will be taking place on March 17 and 18. This is the end of semester 2. We're starting semester 3, and these conferences are coming soon. Now, without further ado, I'd like to present to you Ms. Habhab speaking about social emotional learning support for students and parents. Ms. Habhab, you can take it from there.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Good afternoon. Welcome to our live broadcast. This broadcast, social emotional learning, is geared toward parents and students. So, parents and students, listen up, pay attention, take notes, and let's work together on learning more about social emotional learning. Today, we will cover social emotional learning needs of students, coping with stress, how can parents support their kids' needs, problem solving skills, and having a positive approach to problem solving? So, we want to think about now, ever since the pandemic, how have students' lives and parents' lives changed? So, there is constant and unexpected changes in their home school routine, whether you're a parent or a student, changes in their educational routine between virtual and in-person learning, loss of security and safety. We're used to having a school routine, attending school, and then ever since the pandemic, we don't really know when we're not attending school, when we're not, if we're going virtual or not. So that's like a worry that might be on a student's mind. Also, now that we're back in school, we might be worried about contracting the virus, staying safe, loss of a loved one, keeping our loved ones safe, loss of social relationships in society and school, and maybe financial concerns, childcare concerns if we have to go virtual. So there's a lot of worries pent up in students and parents. How do we manage those worries? We gain an understanding of social emotional learning. It's so important to manage ourselves in these challenging times. So we learn this how to manage ourselves to gaining this understanding of social emotional learning. What is social emotional learning? Social emotional learning is the process through which children and adults understand, manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. Did you know that research shows that social emotional learning improves academic performance? It decreases behavior problems, decreases depression, and other mental health disorders from occurring, decreases any involvement with police and societal problems, give students the skills to excel in the workplace and school environment, and it gives the parents the skills to excel in all areas of their lives as well in dealing with their kids and their own personal matters. In order to take care of others, we also have to be able to take care of ourselves. So, how can we manage our social emotional learning skills? We can do this by gaining knowledge on self awareness, self management, social awareness, relationship building through positive communication, and responsible decision making. So, we'll dive in to learn more about these different topics. So, stress, you guys, is any challenging event that requires a physiological, cognitive, or behavioral adaptation. Everyone is experiencing stress, experiences stress time to time. Some are better at managing stress than others. Managing stress can be managed through gaining an understanding of social emotional learning skills. So, as a family, I want you guys to think about these topics. We're going to talk about these topics as a family, students and parents, okay? And then we're going to go over some questions that we can ask each other as a family. Parents can ask their children these questions. Kids can ask their siblings these questions. So, how to become more self aware? We have to be more aware. We want to practice taking time, noticing how we are feeling and what you're thinking in your brain. Slow down and listen to yourself. Self talk is the thing that we tell ourselves. It is important that we're telling ourselves positive things because our own voice is the one we can hear most often in our head. Come up with positive things you can say to yourself, like, I can do hard things, I can make the world a better place. Remember these things when you're feeling down about yourself. As a family, you can ask each other these questions. And it's important to maintain connections. In a world of technology and social media, it's important to talk to each other, talk to your kids at dinner time. Not everybody be on their phone. So as a family, you want to ask these questions to each other to build more self-awareness. Like, you want to ask your kids, how are you feeling right now? Or kids want to ask their parents or siblings, how are you feeling right now? What are 3 things that are really important to you? What have you done that you're most proud of? What is your favorite thing about yourself? What is one thing you want to do when you're an adult? You can do this at the dinner table, after school, on the way home, in the morning. So, another way we can learn about social emotional learning is build our self management skills. We want to remember, guys, that all feelings are okay. It is what we do with them that matters. Thankfully, there's a lot of things we can do to help us feel calm. If you feel upset, here are some things to try. You can take some deep breaths, count backwards from 10, walk away, talk to an adult or a friend, think about things that make you happy, or write down your feelings. You can ask yourself if you're feeling sad or stressed or upset or nervous. Think in your mind, have I had enough water? Have I talked to someone? Have I taken deep breaths? Have I made a plan? Have I had time to myself? Have I had enough sleep? Have I done something creative? Asked for help? Or eaten enough healthy food? You want to be able to self manage yourself. Some self management family questions are: what is something that makes you upset? Why is it important to think before you act? What are 3 things you can do when you feel upset? So you want to ask these questions to your kids, and then get them to thinking, what can they do when they feel upset? In the moment when they're upset, they might not think about it, but when they're feeling upset, you can guide them to taking that calm down skill and practicing it. Social awareness. So we want to build social awareness so we can learn more about social emotional learning. A way we can do this is by watching a video or reading a book about another culture. Think about needs that your family members have. This could include chores that need to be done, someone who needs help with encouragement, or someone who needs help with a task. Notice how your friends and family members are feeling. Take their feelings into consideration when you interact with them. As a family, you guys can ask each other these questions. Tell me something. Tell me about someone you know who is different than you. What can you do to learn from this person? What can you do if you see someone being left out? You'd be surprised when you ask your children these questions. They know, so much responses, and they can elaborate on what to do. If anything, in this time, we learned how to be more compassionate towards others, in this difficult time during the pandemic. Do you think it's good that everyone is different, or would it be better if everyone was the same? Do you feel like other people appreciate you for who you are, or do you feel pressured to fit in? Why is it important to treat all with respect? When you ask these questions to your kids, or kids ask these questions to their children, you can see where everyone's mind is at, and you guys can work together to build each other up. We want to also, in the process of social emotional learning, is learn how to build our relationship skills. Think about a friend that you want to encourage. A kind card or a small gift can go a long way. When you have a disagreement with a friend, there are positive ways to handle it. Try to calmly talk about it. Making a compromise, sharing. You can also use an I feel statement. Hey guys, I feel sad when you take my stuff. I would like you to stop taking my stuff. Being kind to people you don't know is a great way to make new friends. Try to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Ask questions to learn about him or her and find out what you guys have in common. You never know who might need that listening ear. And in meeting new people, you work on your building relationship skills. As a family, on the dinner table or on the way to school, or anytime, you can ask each other, do you think you're a good friend? Why or why not? Do you think your friends are good friends? Why or why not? So let's say your child said they think they're not a good friend. Then you can give examples to your child of how to be a good friend or ways you interact with your friend. Okay? So use these answers to these questions as ways to role model expected behaviors that you would want in your child and your child to practice. And the next topic for social emotional learning is responsible decision making. We are responsible for our actions. Before we make a choice, it is important to think about the effect. How will this choice impact me? How will this choice impact the others around me? Take time to think before you make decisions. Reflection is a powerful tool. You can reflect by talking to a family friend or a family member, by journaling, or by just thinking about what you have done. Reflection gives us the opportunities to celebrate what we have done well and to consider what we can do better next time. It's important to reflect on our actions daily because it improves our interpersonal our relationship with others. As a family, responsible decision making habits can be, when possible, involve your child in family decision making. Ask your child's opinions and listen to them. Have weekly meetings to discuss family plans. Set a culture of trust by doing what you say you will and honoring what you mean. As a family, you guys can ask yourselves, why can it be helpful to think about multiple ways to solve a problem? Why do you think rules exist? How do you feel when you follow the rules? How do you feel when you don't follow the rules? How can thinking about the consequences of your actions help you make better choices? So we learned about the different social emotional learning strategies. You want to think about these strategies and then take an area that you can improve on and set a goal together that you can work together on as a family. You could do this as a personal goal or as a family goal. I will show you guys an example of a family goal and then a personal goal. So let's say you realize as a family, you're not really socially aware of other cultures. So your family goal can be we will become more socially aware. So we will learn more about other cultures. And as a family, we'll take these steps. We will read books on different cultures. We will understand why it's important to treat all with respect. We will place ourselves in other people's shoes before we react. As a family, after you've established your goals and objectives, you want to think, did we reach our goal? What did we do well as a family? What could have we done better? How do we feel about what we did? And then you want to set new goals as needed. You don't want to just get stuck in this way. You want to always be reflecting, changing, and growing. You can make a goal about something else, becoming more self aware about how to calm down and self manage, how to make better decisions. A personal goal sample is I will become better at self management. So the steps I will take is I will read books on self management. I will practice different calm down skills through watching YouTube videos, um, using a mindfulness app. I will select a calm down skill to use when I need to feel calm. So I set this personal goal, and then as I set this personal goal, what I will do is I will take the steps to reach this goal. And then I will reflect on my progress. As I get upset or I get in challenging situations, did I apply the new skills I learned? Did I practice the new calm down skills? Which did work? What didn't work? What could I do better next time? It's important to do this so we can continue to grow in life. So now we'll learn about mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of focusing on the present moment that you're in and observing your thoughts in a non-judgmental way. There's a lot of distractions now. We got to take a minute to be mindful, to pay attention. Mindfulness can be done anywhere, anytime, by anyone. It can decrease behavioral problems in children, increase working memory capacity, and decrease symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression. So sometimes when I'm session with students, I know there's a lot of distraction, and I want to get the student to, pay attention more. So I tell them, everyone, take a time out, and that's what I want you to do. After we finish this breakfast, take a time out, set the timer on for 2 minutes, and don't do anything. Just look around the room and be quiet. Look around the room. See if you notice anything different than you didn't before. And if you notice after 2 minutes, you're gonna notice that you notice a lot of things differently in the room that you didn't see before because you just sat down and you gave yourself that 2 minutes of quiet just to look around the room. And I do this a lot with students in my office because they come in and they see all these toys and they want to play, and they're just so distracted. So like if you just sit down, guys, be quiet, take 2 minutes, just look around, and then at the end we'll talk about what we noticed that's different around the room. And you'll see the students' responses are so interesting. They'll tell me, hey, Miss Habhab, I noticed there's this on the wall or that. So mindfulness, we just gotta sit, pay attention and focus, and you're gonna notice there's so much more in the world around you than all the craziness and technology. So as adults, we want to make sure we practice being mindful. Take time each day to check in with yourself about how you're feeling. Pay attention to what you're doing. Put away distractions if you're needed. Use a mindfulness app for support. Mindfulness practice for kids. Try some deep breathing exercise like blowing bubbles. Encourage your child to notice new things outside, in their classroom, or in your home. So the same thing when I talked about I do in my office, you can have your child take a minute or two and let them just be silent and just look around the room, encourage them to notice new things, help them write or draw about how they are feeling. Mindfulness is about taking a minute just to enjoy your life, enjoy that meal that you're having, without any phones in your hand, just enjoy whatever you're doing. It's a practice, we have to practice. So as a parent, we can support our children's social emotional learning, and we can do this by being proactive. Take time daily to nurture your connection with your child. Work with your child to build self-regulation skills and model them in your own life. Provide opportunities for your child to make decisions and set a culture of consistency. Say what you mean and mean what you say to them. If anyone has any questions, you can type it in the chat, or you can send your questions. As parents, part of being proactive is establishing expectations. You want to use positive consequences for good behavior, as well as negative consequences for behavior that is not so desired. You want to work with your child to set expectations and consequences. So you don't want to just take things away without explaining the expected behavior. The child has to understand the behavior that is expected of him, and then if the behavior is not followed through, then you can set the consequences that you guys agreed on. And you want to use logical consequences, something that will help the child understand. And you want to follow through with consequences every time consistently. You don't want to they do something that irritates you one time and then just let it slide, or just not follow through, because they're going to think that they can get away with it every time. So you want to do consequences consistently and logically. So sometimes misbehaviors occur with children, and you want to address the misbehavior in the moment. But when you're addressing the misbehavior in the moment, you want to remember to stay calm, manage your emotions. And this is why it's important that we learned about social emotional learning, because these are when the skills come into play when we're having misbehavior at home, when we're dealing with the way we communicate with our children or with others in society. So when let's say your child is doing something that you don't agree with and you're not happy with, you want to stay calm. You want to manage your own emotions. Consider what your child is trying to meet. Work through your child's behavior in private. You don't want to scold them in front of people or address the behavior in front of people. Work with them in private. Adjust the behavior. The behavior, remember that, not the child. Don't say you never do anything right, you don't do this. Adjust the behavior. I don't like how you did not clean up your room. So work with the child to help them manage their emotions and make decisions. Talking goes a long way. Staying calm goes a long way. And working on, while you're doing this with your family, you can work on your relationship skills, your decision-making skills, on your self-management skills. When you're dealing with your kids, there's proactive and reactive responses. Not many would blame you for yelling out, "I've had it." Sometimes as parents, we get frustrated. As teachers, as parents, anything. Your frustration, anger, and exhaustion are understandable, but that does not mean they are healthy to either you or your child. To see a real change and growth in your child's behavior, you got to make a shift from reactive, "I've had it," to proactive parenting. What does this look like? Proactive parents do the following. They speak with intention and consistency. You want to stay in control and calm, create plans and follow routines, reward direction over outcome, accept and learn from mistakes, their own and their child's. I mean, sometimes even me as a parent, you might react in a way in the moment that you know, in an aggressive way or in a way that you wouldn't have liked. As a parent, you have to also be able to, accept and learn from your mistakes, reflect on how could I have handled that better with my child, what kind of impact did this have on my child, and you want to think about, how we can be more proactive instead of reactive. And it's okay if we make a mistake. We're all human, and we just do better next time. So how do we be positive and proactive with our kids? We gotta empathize. A child needs to know that her parents understand what she is feeling. By empathizing, you open up a parent-child dialogue that makes them a shutdown. If instead you start by grilling, what happened? Why did you do that? Why did you fail your test? Your child will feel backed into a corner. You want to get neutral. Understandably, your first reaction to your child's bad behavior might be seriously, again. Instead, try to read the incoming information neutrally and remember to listen calmly, narrow. After a child has shared everything that is on his mind, focus on the conversation by asking questions like, so tell me, what is bothering you the most about this situation? Optimize. Receive the information that your child has shared without argument. Instead, look for ways to work cooperatively on solutions by asking what kinds of things can you do about it. Get moving. Remember the goal to help your child with their behaviors and help them understand um, how to make better choices. So during this time, during the pandemic, we've all become more resilient in this time. When it first happened, I know a lot of people were worried, including myself. And during the school year now, we're back in school, and while we're dealing with our kids, whether we're virtual or we're in person or whatever is going on in your life, even though we become more resilient in this time, we have to remember to engage in self-care. It's so important to continue to engage in self-care. And why self-care matters. According to research, self-compassion and self-care can lead to increased happiness, optimism, positive effect, increased physical health, energy, concentration, mental health, curiosity and exploration, ability to care for the people around you. They say when you're on an airplane and something happens like turbulence, put the mask on yourself and then take care of the person next to you. So it's important to take care of ourselves first, then we can take care of others. And if we're able to take care of ourselves, we will not burn out when we have a stressful situation or when we're faced with any type of difficulty with our child or with ourselves. And this is for you kids as well. You also want to remember that taking care of yourselves when you're in school, when you're learning, it leads to happiness, higher energy, better schoolwork, and a better mood. There are different types of self-care, guys. So we engage in self-care through physical self-care, and we could do physical self-care by getting some exercise, getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, drinking enough water, deep breathing, going to the doctor and dentist as needed, keeping up with personal hygiene, taking that bath, taking a nice long shower, taking prescribed medicines, and stretching. We can take care of our mental health by making a plan, learning a new skill, reading a book, organizing something, making a piece of art, trying a new recipe, doing something you've been putting off, watching a movie or a TV show, listening to music, doing some gardening, decorating or arranging your room. And then emotional self-care, we can write down our feelings in a journal, pray or meditate, practice our mindfulness, just sitting and focusing, doing something relaxing if you feel stressed. You can talk to someone about how you feel, make a list of things you love about yourself, write a positive note to yourself and put it where you can see it, make a list of positive coping skills. So it's something I do personally to take care of my emotional stuff is I write down 3 things that I'm thankful for daily, and then every day I reread those 3 things from the day before, and I write down new things every single day, and then I read the things that I wrote down before. I feel like this shifts my thinking from negative thinking to positive thinking. It's important we take care of ourselves socially by spending time with our friends and family, planning a social event in a safe way, calling someone we haven't seen in a while, saying no to something, set personal and healthy boundaries, be honest with the people around you, eat a meal with a friend, ask for help, and meet new people. Students can practice self-care during the school day. Self-care is not only practiced at home, it should be practiced at home, but it can also be done in the school day. Parents can also practice self-care in the work day or at home. But at school, students, you guys can practice deep breathing. You can use positive self-talk like I can do it, don't worry, I can do it, Megan. Make a list of your most make the most of your work time in class. You can be kind to others. By being kind to others, we tend to feel happy inside, and then others will return the kindness to us, and it's just a circle of happiness. Use a special notebook. Ask for help if you need it. Teachers are here to help you. Your friends are here to help you. Organize your desk or locker. Talk to your teacher about how you feel. We're here to support you guys. And write yourself a positive note to keep in your locker and your desk. For me personally, I have positive notes all over my desk. Sometimes when you get stressed out during the workday, I just look up and I see my positive note saying, hey, I am calm, I'm relaxed, I can do it. So guys, you might say, hey, I never have time, I'm always busy, but there's always time for self-care. It's important that we schedule that time, no matter how busy we are. Whether it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour or more than an hour, we always have time for self-care. If you have 5 minutes, you can meditate, pray, you can make a list of things you're thankful for. That's what I do. You can take some deep breaths, drink water, stretch, send a text message or email to a friend. Notice how you're feeling. Look in the mirror and tell yourself something positive like, I am awesome, I am kind, I am beautiful, I am thankful, I'm blessed, I'm grateful, I'm growing, I'm happy. If you have 20 minutes, you can eat something healthy, you can journal, you can call a friend or family member, you can read, you can go on a walk, you can take a shower or a bath, you can make a plan for the week, organize a small space, and do something fun without technology. Sometimes we need to unplug from that technology. An hour, you can work or play outside, you can watch a show that you love, you can take a nap. A nap always helps. Catch up on chores, do a puzzle, exercise, have a picnic outside, clean or organize a room, try a new craft, or make a new recipe. If you have more than an hour, you can watch a movie and relax, go to dinner with friends or family in a safe way, stay off social media for the day or a couple hours, go shopping for new clothes, do research to learn something new, get 8 hours of sleep, take a mental health day, take some time for you. So we can do all these things to learn about social emotional learning. We can engage in mindfulness also. and self-care. But if additional support is needed, you can consider reaching out for help. There's people to help for yourself or for your child. You can consider to reaching out to your child's teacher or school social worker for support. The teacher do know how to contact the social worker if we feel like the child is struggling. If your child seems unusually upset or irritable for a long period of time, not like, a day or two, but like a long extended period of time, like if you feel like despite interventions, despite self-care routines, despite you talking to them, you notice changes in their normal routines and activities, they might need additional support, and we are here to support you. If your child's emotions and behaviors are negatively impacting their schooling, day-to-day activities, and he is or she is having trouble developing positive coping skills, they may need additional support. If you become concerned about your own mental health or your child's mental health, you can contact the primary care. You can also call your insurance company for a list of in-network mental health professionals, or do a search online for your local mental health providers. So remember we talked about our self-awareness topic to learn about self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship, responsible decision making. There's some books here in each categories that you guys can use as a family to learn about these different topics. Let's say your goal was to become more socially aware. You could read The Judgmental Flower together as a family and then reflect on the book. Or if you want to learn how to self-manage, you can read Breathe for Breathe. There's many resources out there. These are some websites that you guys can use, and some technology is good, and because there's a lot of resources on technology, I personally use the last one, virtual calming room, with myself and with my students in session. Sometimes it helps to do that. And then parent resource websites. And then in the world of YouTube, there's many YouTube channels and apps that we can use to help us practice our self-management skills, and apps that we can use to help us with our mindfulness and our self-management skills. So everyone, thank you very much. We learned about social emotional learning. If anyone has any questions, please do let us know. I appreciate your time and your attention, and I hope you guys continue to being the best families, and working together as families to help each other and support each other in this time and continue to grow. And we love you guys all very much, and we love our families and Star International Academy. And it's been a pleasure with you guys all these years. You guys are the best. And we're going to make it through every time. Good times, bad times. We're all here together.
Thank you, Ms. Habhab.
Yep.
Thank you for the presentation. I like how you brought some of the recommended YouTube channels, or some healthy YouTube channels, because
Yeah.
sometimes we have to think about, replacing or directing, instead of completely banning, or so kids can really spend a lot of time on YouTube,
Yeah.
but there is a way to direct them to healthy YouTube channels. And
Yeah.
so is also, if children use their electronic devices, there is a way to guide and control that, and set the screen time limits. What's your recommendation in that regard?
Well, so it's okay to use YouTube. Yes, it's okay to have these apps, but you want to self-manage. You don't want to, overdo it. You want to know when to recognize that, hey, let's go on these apps in moderation. You can use YouTube to watch videos about things you're interested in, but you can also use it to practice how to deep breathe or how to calm down. And what you do is you watch these videos, and usually they have these great people on there that are helping you learn how to do these things. And once you learn the skill, you want to think about a time where you might feel mad, and then you want to practice that breathing. And then when the situation actually happens, you get upset, you want to try practicing it. And remember, we talked about goals, right? You want to develop a goal. So you see, hey, you're not doing so well on the self-management. Okay. So if you're not doing so well, you can practice a different skill, like taking a walk. So there's a lot of different things that we can do. We want to be, and there's a different research. The YouTube channels are a lot of good resources that anyone can get to, anyone can access. You can practice the skill, and let's say, it's not working, it's not helping, you feel like you need additional support, or you feel like your child needs additional support, you can get that additional support through, the social workers at school and your teachers, or your parents can help you out. So the resources, yes, the kids are so smart, they can get on anything now, they can get their own resources, but and it's great that we have so much access to all these resources, but there's also additional access, like the adults that care about you, and the teachers that care about you, and the social workers that care about you.
Thank you, Ms.
Yeah.
Habhab. We have a question also. Let me just take this off.
Are they the questions are in the comment?
I will display some questions for you. Question: My child gets angry during playing some electronic games. How can I address that?
So your child gets angry while playing electronic games. How can you address that? Um, Maybe you just want to talk to them about, games. They're fun. They're supposed to. We're just having fun with it. You know, take a break from it. Understand that it's just for fun, and sometimes we might lose, and that's okay. If we lose, it's not always going to be win-win. Sometimes we need to take a break. You can use that self-management skill to calm down, take a break from the game, walk away, go sit in the room for a little bit, go drink some water, and just kind of reframe the thinking that it's just a game. We're just having fun. Okay, it's just there to help you relax and have fun. It's not supposed to make you angry. So just go calm down. Focus on that. It's just a game. When you're ready to come back and play, then come back and play. Because sometimes you guys, when the kids they play electronics, and if it's excessive, it tends to become the reality. They start to really get upset and associate with the reality, the real world. So you want to take them back from their virtual world and tell them, hey guys, this is just a game. We're supposed to be having fun. It's supposed to help you relax. Practice your calm down skills. If you can show me you can calm down and be responsible, we can go back to playing this game. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I can't hear you.
Thank you, Ms. Habhab. You just told me that I was muted.
You're welcome. I just want to make sure it's okay.
Right, yeah. So I wanted to thank you for notating in your presentation that the parents always can refer back to the social worker if needed, if they need any help, if there's any concerns that they have about their children's behavior, any observation that they want some opinion about or advice. The social worker is there. Please do not hesitate to call the school and contact your school's social worker, for they are there to help you and support the emotional and mental health of your children. With that, we come to an end to this presentation. Thank you again, Ms. Habhab, and to all the team at Star International Academy. We'll see you again in a couple weeks. I'll let you know the title of the next family engagement broadcast. It's going to be
You're very welcome, everyone. Enjoy your weekend, and don't forget to practice your self-care, take care of yourselves, and practice your social emotional learning skills so you can continue to progress as a family.
Thank you. Yeah, our next Family Gathering broadcast will be on February 18 on Friday, and it will be about managing stress. Final reminder about re-enrollment surveys. Please fill them when you receive them in your email, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye, everyone.
HES Academies have been serving the Detroit metro area for over 23 years, promoting academic excellence, leadership, and cultural diversity, ranking as some of the top schools in the state of Michigan. Our pre-K through 12th grade students enjoy tuition-free, state-accredited education by STEM-certified and highly qualified staff with no geographical restrictions, and with advanced placement, college dual enrollment, scholarship, and Arabic language programs. Noor International Academy in Sterling Heights at niapsa.org, Star International Academy in Dearborn Heights and in Canton at starpsa.org, Universal Academy in Detroit at universalpsa.org, and Universal Learning Academy in Westland at ulapsa.org. Join HES Academies today and enjoy a free Chromebook for every enrolled student.